get up at about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, maybe take a shower, and the whole day probably watch TV and do very little else. So I don't attend office now on a regular basis, but maybe once a week go to office. But even that may not be. But the whole day I would just flop in front of the chair and just stuff my face. Honestly, just stuff my face. Breakfast, I think one meal melted into the other. Breakfast melted into snack, melted into lunch, melted into coffee, melted into tea, melted into a snack, melted into dinner. Absolutely no exercise. I'm being absolutely honest. That's how I used to spend my day. What actually impacted my weight was my overeating. I mean, it was not even overeating, it was binge eating. It was gluttony. There's no other word I can use for it in retrospect, and there's no other word I can use. So how it impacted my lifestyle was very negatively, because I was the kind of person who used to travel a lot. Okay, but I found I couldn't travel. I mean, I couldn't. If I traveled, I like to walk. I like to see places. And it came to a point that I couldn't do any of that. Right? I couldn't walk. I couldn't travel with ease. The thought of going to a new place was just something overwhelming. So that really impacted me negatively. Yes, and I was not really happy. So we started about 5 o'clock. I mean, you start with when I do a nice cold shower. I actually like to take a cold shower in the morning. That really wakes you up. A nice cold shower at 5 o'clock, followed by yoga, which goes on for about an hour and a half. That's about 7, quarter past 7. Then I'd love to sit in the lawn. There's a lovely lawn, many lovely lawns in JNI. I'll sit in the lawn for about an hour and a half, enjoy the sun on my face, maybe walk a bit, and then go for a massage, which is one of the most invigorating starts to a day. Yes, massages were, very varied kinds. Massages would take about an hour and a half, after which you have a nice, refreshing 15-minute soak in either the sauna or the steam. And then, you have followed by a lovely glass of fresh juice. After that, I guess you meet your doctor for about, it takes you about half an hour, 45 minutes to meet your doctor. You discuss your whole schedule. She asks you how you're doing, any problems, a very, very interactive session with your doctor. That takes about 20-25 minutes. She fixes your schedule. She picks your diet for the day. You can go for your acupuncture. You can go for your physiotherapy, which I did. I mean, acupuncture would take about about 45 minutes, and then followed by about half an hour physiotherapy. And so by the time you're already close to lunchtime, which is between 11:15 and 12:15. So in between that, you squeeze your lunch, and then you have maybe a treatment in the afternoon, and then in the evening at about 3 o'clock, you get 3 or 4, you have juice, followed by you can relax on the lawn, you can walk, you can socialize, and then you have dinner at about 5:45, and then I think you meet so many people from all kinds of backgrounds and all parts of the country and all parts of the world. You interact with people sitting in Times Square, and then you go back to your room at about 8 o'clock, and by the time you reach your room and you finish your night treatment by 9 o'clock, you're so, I wouldn't say tired, but it's so relaxed, your body automatically switches off, and no phone the whole day. I think that's been one of the greatest things. I digitally detoxed, and I urge recuperating was one of the biggest positive things that's happened to me here. I weighed 158.3. 41 days later, I've lost 20 kilos and 500 grams. I clock in at 138. I'm still way away from my target, which is in 3 years, 61. Was very happy. And the greatest resolve was that I'm planning to come back here in about 170 days. I hope to lose another 10 kilos by then. If I do 10, I think I'm happy. See my Ronaldo haircut? Yeah. I would have never had the guts to do it earlier. Okay. I think that I couldn't say it better. I think that's the biggest learning apart from all the health tips and all, how one should eat and how one should drink. I think the biggest learning is that he who has hope has everything.